Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the cryptic language of big business. And today we're diving into some interesting news from AtaiBeckley Inc that might just be a subtle shift in their board dynamics and a peek into their future communication strategy. So, we've got a current report. Think of this like a company's quick update to the public when something important happens that isn't part of their regular scheduled financial reports. This one is dated the 6th of January 2026. The first big piece of news is that Cosmo Fielding Mellon has stepped down from the board of directors. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. The report is very clear that his departure was not due to any disagreements about the company's operations, policies, or practices. This usually means it is a personal decision or perhaps a strategic move by the company to reshape its board. It is generally a positive sign when departures are amicable and not tied to internal conflicts. Next up, we have a little something called Regulation FD disclosure. This is basically the company telling us they are putting out some information that could be important to investors, and they want everyone to have access to it at the same time to keep things fair. On the 8th of January 2026, AtaiBeckley Inc released a press announcing an update and their outlook for 2026. This was released just before a big event called the JP Morgan Healthcare Conference. This tells us they were likely preparing to share some key information with analysts and investors at that conference, and this press release was the precursor, giving everyone a heads up before they sat down with the big players. This press release itself is being supplied as an exhibit with this report. Think of exhibits as supporting documents that provide more detail on the main story. This particular exhibit is where the real juicy details beyond the board change are likely to be found. Unfortunately, the filing itself doesn't give us the content of that press release, but it points us directly to it for a deeper dive. Given it is an outlook for 2026 and tied to a major healthcare conference, we can infer they were probably sharing pipeline updates, potential strategic directions, or financial projections for the coming year. Looking at some of the company's basic information, their common stock is traded under the ticker symbol ATAI on the Nasdaq stock market, LLC. This tells us they are a publicly traded company, meaning their stock is available for anyone to buy and sell on a major exchange. Also, AtaiBeckley Inc is identified as an emerging growth company. This is a designation given to companies that have become publicly traded relatively recently. It allows them to benefit from certain flexible reporting requirements, which can be helpful as they are still establishing themselves. They have elected to use this status. Now, let's just quickly look at the bigger picture here. We have a board member stepping down amicably, which is standard. The more interesting part is the timing of the press release and its connection to the JP Morgan Healthcare Conference. This suggests AtaiBeckley Inc is actively engaging with the financial community to communicate its future plans. For investors or potential investors, this update is a signal to pay close attention to what was said at that conference. Emerging growth companies often use these platforms to showcase their potential and attract further investment. The lack of detailed financial tables in this particular filing means we can't do a deep dive into numbers today, but we know that the press release, which is attached as Exhibit 99.1, is the key document for understanding the company's forward-looking strategy and any updates they have shared regarding their business or financial outlook. It is a reminder that even seemingly small filings can point towards significant upcoming disclosures. Alright, that is our quick decode of this AtaiBeckley Inc filing. What is your take on these board changes and the timing of their outlook announcement? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. Don't forget to check out our Discord community linked in the description below, where we discuss these kinds of insights further. Thanks for watching, see you next time.